In this video, we're going to see an example where the shadow price must be interpreted carefully. We cannot always say that the shadow price is the amount that we are willing to pay for one additional unit of resource. So let's start. Again, this is the purpose of the example. We are going to see where we should interpret the shadow price very carefully. So in this example, leather co-manufactures belts and shoes. So we have X1 number of belts produced, X2 the number of pairs of shoes produced. And then considering all the costs and prices, we have this objective function. And then this is the complete formulation. I will give you the pause on this video to give you the time to really read this problem and the formulation carefully. So this is a maximization problem, and then after adding the slack variables, we are given the optimal table for the problem. We are going to do the same approach. First is that we are going to obtain the optimal dual solution, and then from that optimal dual solution, we are going to obtain the shadow prices. Here are the guidelines to read the optimal dual solution from row 0 of the optimal table. And then from this dual solution, because this is a maximization problem, the shadow price of each constraint is the same with the optimal value of the dual solution. So we have two constraints in the primal, we have two constraints in the primal problem. So we have two dual variables. And the optimal dual variables may be read from the optimal table. So for y1, the optimal dual solution equals 1. And then for y2, the optimal dual solution equals 1 as well. And since this is a maximization problem, the value of the optimal dual solution is the shadow price. So we have obtained the shadow price for leather constraint equals $1. For skilled labor constraint equals $1 as well. So let's interpret the shadow price. For the leather constraint, because the shadow price equals 1, it means that one additional unit of leather will increase the Z value or the profit by 1. Okay, up to here is just the same, the definition of shadow price as usual. But now it's a bit different. If we look at this Z value and then we look at the problem, actually the profit, the Z value, already included the price that we pay to purchase a square yard of leather. So the leather does not come for free. We need to purchase that at a price of $5. So this profit here, it already includes or takes into account the fact that we need to pay $5 for each of this square yard of leather that we have. Which means that if we know that one additional unit of leather increase the profit by 1, do not forget that we need to pay the leather that we would like to buy. So the price of leather is 5, and then by adding that 1 unit which we have to pay for $5 will increase our revenue by $6. In other words, we are willing to pay an additional unit of leather up to $6. Right, so the key here is that the raw materials do not come for free. We need to purchase the raw material. So let me repeat, If an additional unit of ladder increase the profit by 1, remember that to obtain additional unit of ladder, we need to pay $5. So by paying $5, our revenue will be increased by 1. It means that we are still willing up to pay up to $6. Well, but you may say that if you pay $6, then your additional profit is 0. Yes, actually, but that's kind of the very maximum price that we are still willing to pay. Okay, similarly for labor, one additional unit of labor will increase the Z value or the profits by 1. But remember, when we create this formulation, when we define the Z, it is under this situation. The skilled labor must be purchased at the rate of $10 per hour, which means that here this thing, each additional unit of labor means that we have to pay $10 per hour in this condition. Then our profit will be increased by 1. It means that at most, LidarCo is still willing to pay 1 hour of skilled labor at most $11. $1 in the increase of the profit, $10 is the price of the current condition of the labor. Okay. So this example shows that we need to be careful to interpret the shadow prices, especially when we formulate the original problem here under the condition that the resources or the raw materials must be purchased. In the Dakota problem, you may revisit the Dakota problem and see that the labor is already available. We do not need to purchase we do not need to purchase the resources, such that the shadow price interpretation is different with this one. And I will still have one last example, so see you in the next video. Thank you.